Hey everybody, have we got a project to show you. This poor little ride here is in desperate need of, well, a whole bunch of things. We've got oxidation going on in a variety of areas. We got scuffs and scratches. We've got trim that needs restoration. We've got a broken windshield. We're not gonna be able to do anything with that. Some clear coat failure on top of the mirror. We can't really do anything with that, but the paint condition needs a lot of attention. The trim needs a lot of attention. The tires need some help. So from the paint that needs work, to the trim that needs work, to the headlights that really need some help. And we are going to take on this project to kind of help you. I don't know, maybe you're gonna be selling your car after, this one's about 10 years old, and you wanna get top dollar for it. You're not gonna get top dollar in this kind of condition. Let's see what we can do to help you out and come up with a plan and some ways to freshen up something like this and elevate it, maybe to the point where you decide to hang on to it just that little bit longer. Let's see what we can do with it. We're using Hot Rim's wheel and tire cleaner because these are factory OEM wheels, which is exactly what this product is intended for, and we want to get the tire surface cleaned and prepped as well. As you can see, we're spraying the tire first to give some extra dwell time on the rubber, and then we spray the wheels from the bottom up to avoid any slight potential for streaking. After agitating the wheel with an appropriate brush, we then scrub the tire sidewall with a separate stiff brush. Finally, we rinse everything off and then move on to the next wheel and repeat the process. So as we start pre-rinsing this vehicle, we notice immediately that the water just lays on it in a great big sheet. You'll see as we get onto the hood here. And that means that there's zero protection on this, which really is why the paint looks as bad as it does. It's just been neglected. So this is gonna be a little tricky to wash and dry, but we'll get it handled. All right, so before we can get in and do paint correction and whatever else we're gonna do on this car today, we need to give it a quick wash. It's not that dirty, but we want to get whatever loose contaminants are off of it. So we're just gonna, now that we've rinsed it, we're gonna foam it down, let that sit for a little bit to help kind of break things down a little bit. Then we're just gonna agitate that with a mitt, kind of rinsing the mitt as we go. Rinse that off. Never fun to dry a car that has no protection on it because the water just lays there in a great big sheet and the towels don't even want to pick it up. But we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna go in and see what we can do to correct this paint and make it look a bit better, because this is really going to help. If you've got a car like this that you are looking to sell or trade in, you can up the value of the car dramatically by changing what we've got into what we're planning on doing, and hopefully without a ton of effort. So let's see where we go with that. We opted to use a foam cannon with our Gold Class shampoo. Foaming is great, not just because it's fun and looks cool, but the foam generated by this process allows the cleaning ingredients to cling to the paint surface for an extended period of time. The dwell time helps to break down dirt and road grime, making it not just easier to remove, but also easier to remove more completely. Let the foam dwell on the paint until it begins to break down, then either agitate with a clean wash mitt or rinse off completely before moving on to a full wash. Which option you choose depends on how dirty the vehicle is. In this situation, because the car wasn't really that dirty, we jumped right into agitating, but still used a rinse bucket to flush out the wash mitt from time to time. Wax your car regularly. Do it just to make it easier to wash and dry your car in the future, because I'm telling you right now, this is no fun trying to get water off of paint that doesn't want to let it go. There's nothing that will make this job easy at this point. So wax your vehicle, keep it looking good, make it easier to take care of. So, yeah, this doesn't look very pretty, and it doesn't sound very nice. Your paint really shouldn't be noisy. What you can't tell on video is what this feels like. Oh, that's why. Taking the skin off my finger. I have no more fingerprints. This paint is so rough, it's kind of like 80 grit sandpaper. And I'm not joking. You could probably shape wood with this. This is bad. So what we're gonna do to remove this is clay it. And we're going to clay this whole vehicle. It's not going to bring back the shine. It's not going to remove swirls and scratches. That's all kind of down below surface. That's another step. But we want to get this stuff off and out of the way before we get into the paint correction part of it. So let's see what kind of clay bar we need to do to this baby to smooth it out. The Smooth Surface Clay Kit contains everything you need to properly and completely remove above surface bonded contaminants. All that fallout and grime that won't wash off the paint because it's actually bonded to it. You want to remove that before moving on to any sort of paint correction process. So we have a philosophy here at Meguiar's to use the least aggressive method to get the job done. Looking at the condition of this paint, it's going to need a pretty good hit to get it done. Least aggressive method, but it's still going to need a pretty good hit. We've washed it, we've clayed it, it's smooth again, but there's just no gloss or definition to it. So just for kind of the fun of showing off, hopefully this will behave the way we want it to, we're actually going to tape off a section here when we go to do a test spot, and we are hoping our M300 Solo All-in-One will get us the kind of results that we're looking for. Solo All-in-One. This is essentially a super potent high-end cleaner wax. So what this is going to do is correct almost like a compound, and then it's going to polish to enhance the gloss, and then it's going to lay down some nice SiO2 infused or ceramic based, however you like to phrase it, protection all in that one go. Since we're doing this with a microfiber disc, we want to make sure that this is fully saturated, that we prime it completely with the product, get all of those microfibers loaded up with it. What's nice with that is it allows us to carry that much more abrasive to the surface, so we can get that much more aggressive when we need to and get the job done a little bit more quickly. What's really nice about this product especially is it will cut almost like a compound. It'll stay wet for a good long period of time. Wipe off is super easy, and it tends to leave a really, really nice finish. Notice I said tends to, not it always does. That's why we always do a test spot, which we're going to do right now. I don't know if you can see this on camera yet, but I haven't even wiped off the residue, and I'm already starting to see the structures in the ceiling here through the product residue on the paint where you can't even see it. So we're just going to come in and wipe this off. As this paint gets really dry like this is, sometimes this gets a little bit sticky on here, especially with the first couple of passes. For a first go test spot, you step in and are you seeing the shine and the no shine, the reflection and the no reflection? That's not too shabby. All right, so that first test spot looks pretty surprisingly good given how bad this paint is. I mean, not only is there gloss, but you can see stuff in the reflections now. So all we're gonna do is put a little bit more speed into the tool. We were at roughly 3.5, maybe a little bit higher. We're gonna go just over 4 on the tool. And we did, what, 3 overlapping passes. We're gonna add a 4th pass to that. Look, let's be honest, this paint is so far gone, you're never gonna make it look like it's brand spanking new again without going into maybe sanding it and buffing it out, but that's a whole different world. And that's really not what this particular vehicle is all about. We wanna lift it, we wanna make it look as good as we can without putting in an inordinate amount of time and effort. This is a one step. We do this and we're done. So let's see if we can lift that up just a little bit higher. We've got just a little bit more clarity in there. Just feels so nice and smooth now too. Just that little bit of extra aggressiveness, if you will. Not a big jump up, but it's going to get us to where we want to be with this, and we are literally going to transform the look of this vehicle. Now, it should also be noted, these horizontal surfaces, these top surfaces are in far worse condition than the sides are, so we may not need to be quite as aggressive on the sides, but that's fine. You just kind of play with that accordingly and get a nice uniform appearance all the way around the vehicle, which is what we're going to do right now. So let's get to it. We chose our heavy-duty headlight restoration kit for its ease of use and long-lasting protection. 2 simple sanding steps will remove the oxidation and roughness from the lenses. Masking off the surrounding paint's a good idea, but not absolutely necessary. We start with 1000 grit and sand in a side-to-side motion, checking our progress along the way. That's followed by 3000 grit in an up and down motion, again checking our progress as we go and making sure we've removed all of the 1000 grit sanding marks. When you're done, you should have a very uniform finish that looks lightly frosted. That's when you know you're good to move on to the protection step. This part is incredibly easy to do. Simply open the sachet, take out the saturated wipe, but don't unfold it, and just wipe it on in overlapping straight lines. That's it, you're done. So if you're thinking about selling a car that you've had for a while and it's been perhaps a little neglected, like this one was, we got it washed, we got it clayed, got it nice and smooth again, and then we buffed it out with the M300 and it looks really good. But then you start noticing other things, like the headlights look kind of hazy and sun damaged as well. So we took care of those with the ultimate headlight restoration kit, brought that back looking really, really nice with the 1000 grit and the 3000 grit sanding, and then wiping on that protectant that'll give it at least a year's worth of durability, looking really good like this. But then you start to notice other things that are kind of problematic, like all the plastic trim around this car. So we've got the heavy duty trim restoration kit that we're going to throw on here and start cleaning up all of that trim down low on this car and make the whole thing look really good, bring the value back up even more. And if you bought one that looked like this car when we started, now you've got one that looks a whole lot better than the one you paid for in the first place. So let's get at it with the heavy duty trim restoration kit. The cleaning step is very straightforward. Simply apply some of the cleaning solution onto a clean cotton towel and scrub the faded trim clean. This cleaner removes road grime, waxes, grease, silicones, etc., and really improves the appearance of the trim even before you apply the trim shield. This is the least fun part of the whole thing, is trying to get to the wiper cowl, because this is all going to vary from vehicle to vehicle, how easily you could reach. Whatever works for you, but just take a little bit of time, get in there and make sure you scrub everything down real good. Remember, this is for the pebble grained plastic trim, not these metal wiper arms. So don't worry about doing those, other than, you know, maybe you want to clean them just to make them look a little bit better. But the trim sealant is not going to work on those wiper arms. It's just for this plastic. And again, rinse it thoroughly and make sure it's completely dry before you start applying the trim sealant. While that straight line application is best, we know that in some areas that are a little more complex, like this wiper cowl, you can't necessarily go in just a straight line, so work in those areas as needed. All right, so we give the car a final wipe down with any quick detail spray. That'll ensure that you've gotten all the wax residue off or removed any light dust or fingerprints that may have come about. We then finish off with hyper dressing on the tires, a simple water-based dressing that's quick and easy to apply without making the tires overly shiny. We took this 8-year-old, really neglected car and we transformed it pretty darn well here with minimal effort. So if you're looking to sell a car that is looking pretty tired, it won't take that much really to pretty dramatically increase the curb appeal to this. I mean, this is a car that somebody would now be proud to own. It looks really good again. And really all we did was a thorough wash using Gold Class shampoo. Yes, we foamed it. You don't have to foam it, but it's what we chose to do. Let that dwell a little bit. And then of course, all the plastic trim we went over with this beauty, the heavy duty trim restoration kit that literally restores that trim. The headlights got a really, really nice cleanup with that headlight kit. And the paint, you know, we chose to go with an all-in-one that it's effectively a mega cleaner wax, okay? It removed the oxidation, it removed some fine swirl marks and fine scratches. It polished the paint, added a lot of gloss, and it added some really good SiO2 infused or ceramic protection, whichever term you prefer to use. If you didn't want to use an all-in-one, you could have used a compound or a polish, or maybe both, and then applied something like our ultimate ceramic spray coating if you wanted to go with a full ceramic coating. This is gonna last probably a good 6 months, if not more on here, at which point you could give it a wipe down after a wash, and you could apply a ceramic coating to it at that point. But for really pretty minimal effort and not a lot of time, this car almost looks like the owner doesn't want to sell it now, perhaps. You know, you might think, well, maybe there's a little more life in that car, or you can sell it a whole lot easier. Or if you bought one that looked like that, you now know maybe you got a better deal than you even thought you did, because you can bring that car back to looking like this and enjoy it for many more years to come. That's what we've got for you on this installment. Thanks for joining in with us. You know where to get a hold of us on social media all over the place. You can always give us a call. Check us out on our website. We've got live chat as well. The guys are always happy to help out. Or you can ask some questions down below. Hit us up all over social media. We're happy to answer any and all of your questions. We appreciate you joining in. Hope to see you again next time. Stay shiny, everybody.